Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So I've just got back from holiday and I've seen a number of YouTube videos talking about the USA bank that has recently collapsed. Now I believe it's called Silicon Valley and I haven't done much research, but I thought I would make a video discussing my views on the topic, simply because I had a person comment, David Bridge commented on my latest video saying, just wondering your views on the banks which have gone bust in the US. Also, do you think this will make the spot price of silver increase, as they're talking of bank runs this week coming? So like I said, I haven't done much research into it, so I can't really comment on the actual bank in question in particular. However, from what I do know, I believe it was the 16th largest bank in the US, so it's definitely not a small bank, it's one of the bigger banks. So it's very, very interesting to kind of see all of this come into light. Now, like I said, I haven't really got much information on it. I just kind of wanted to talk to you about my opinion on the spot price of silver and my experience with bank runs. Now, let's get some silver out to make the video more interesting. Now, personally, I haven't actually experienced bank runs myself, as in I haven't had money in a bank that's gone bankrupt or anything like that. However, I have witnessed the effects of a bank run, and not too many years ago in the UK there was a bank that went bankrupt. Now I can't remember the bank's name top of my head, but I will post. Oh my god, look at that spider. A huge spider just ran across. Lost my trail of thought. I can't remember the bank's name that went bankrupt in the UK, but I will post a picture on the screen now to show you. Those of you that live in the UK will probably remember. Now, when this bank went bankrupt, a lot of people went to their own banks to try and draw their money out as quick as possible, because everyone started panicking. They didn't know the reason why such a big bank had gone bankrupt, and they didn't want their money in the bank. So it caused a lot of people to go to the bank in question and other banks and draw their money out as quick as they could. Now, this is what's called a bank run, when people basically run to the bank to take their money out as quick as possible because they are scared about that bank also collapsing and their money going missing. So in terms of how this could affect the spot price of gold and silver, now if a lot of people take their money out of the bank, where are they going to put that money? If people start losing their faith and their confidence in the banking system, where are people going to put their money? Now, for those of you that have been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I don't like to speculate on the prices of precious metals going up or down. It's just not something I like to do on this channel. I don't like to use clickbait thumbnails, clickbait titles or anything like that. I like to kind of stick to what I know, and that is over long term precious metals tend to rise. So for me, I'm not really interested in the rises and the falls short term, because for me precious metals is about transferring my fiat currency into something that I'm going to be holding for minimum 20, possibly 30 years. So that's why I don't like to speculate and comment on the short price movements. However, like I said, people have been asking me my thoughts on this, so that's why I thought I would share my thoughts and opinions. Now, like I was saying, if people take their money out of the banking system and they don't know where to put it, where it's going to be safe, in my opinion, it could, and this is obviously a big could because no one knows, it could increase the spot price of gold and silver, because if people don't want to put their money in the banks, they're going to want to move it into something that's also going to be kind of protecting their fiat currency from inflation. Now, if they're scared about the banking system, they're more likely going to be scared to trust any bank with their money. So in my opinion, it could definitely affect the spot price of precious metals, because people need to put their money somewhere. Where else are you going to put it? In my opinion, precious metals is one of the safest places to put your fiat currency. So that's all I'm going to really say on the matter, because like I said, I haven't done much research into it, and the only kind of experience I've had of bank runs, it was many, many years ago in the UK. And like I said, I was too young for it to really affect me. So it was kind of what I've researched after about what happened. But all I know is that when banks go bankrupt, a lot of people do go to their own banks to quickly draw their money out. Now, something else I wanted to touch upon as well in the video is when you put your money into a bank, the bank is allowed to lend out more money than they physically hold. So, for example, on a smaller scale, if you was to deposit £1 to your bank, and I'm not sure what the ratio that the banks are allowed to lend now, but let's say it's 10. If you was to put £1 in your bank, although that bank's only got £1 of your money, or $1, for example, if you're in the US, they're allowed to lend out £10 or $10. So, like I said, I'm not sure of the exact ratio now. Again, I need to do some more research, but it was around 10 times what they held at one stage, I believe. So if you put $1 in the bank can lend out $10, and you've got to think on a much larger scale how much money is deposited in banks to how much money the bank's allowed to lend out in terms of credit card debt and mortgage debt and loans and all the rest of it. So any bank doesn't actually hold the amount of money that everyone's put in. So if a lot of people do go to the bank and do bank runs, banks are going to simply not have enough money to pay them back, because like I said, they are over leveraged. They lend out in terms of credit card, loans and mortgages. So they physically don't have enough money to be able to pay everyone out at the same time. So that's when the problems really start to arise, when bank runs happen, because it starts showing the general public. Those of you that are watching this channel will probably already know that banks lend out a lot more than they physically hold, but the general public don't know that. So once they start realising that, it sends even more panic, and even more people go to the banks to try and draw out their money. And the problem you get is if a bank suddenly stops withdrawals and stops letting you draw the money out, and like I said, the general public start realising that they haven't got all your money in their system, then it just has a more and more of a knock-on effect. And who knows where this can go. The way it was handled when it happened in the UK, they actually got bailed out by the government, I believe. I believe from what I've read and researched, the government were literally sending in truckloads of money into the back doors of the banks so that they could quickly put it into the machines, so that when people were going to the cash machines and trying to draw out money, it never stopped. And like I said, the bank couldn't have done that themselves, because they don't physically have that amount of money on the books to be able to pay everyone back if everyone tries to draw out at the same time. So the government had to bail them out, and I think the reason they bailed them out was to kind of stop the panic, because like I said, if the money suddenly stopped coming out, more and more people would panic and more people would go to their own bank. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting topic, and like I said, I don't know too much on it because I haven't done enough research, but what I would definitely say is it could definitely affect the price of the spot price of silver and gold, because if lots of people are taking their money out of the banks, then where else are they going to put it? So yeah, it's really, really interesting, I think, what's going on, and it'll be interesting to see how the dominoes and the knock-on effect kind of happens. So yeah, let me know about your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below. I'm sorry it's a bit vague, and like I said, I don't want to kind of say too much on it without actually knowing all the facts ins and outs. So I will be doing some more research into it, and it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens over the next coming days and weeks. To summarise, my opinion is if the domino effect does happen and lots of people start doing bank runs and withdrawing their money, then yes, I do think that the spot price of silver and gold could rise, because people need to put their money somewhere. Where are they going to put their money? That's my thoughts. So as always, thanks very much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a nice day.